Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm your Captain Guide and friend, Dalton Rutlinger. Welcome back to Motor Time Behind the Wheel. Admittedly, welcome to the very first episode of a new series, actually. Unfortunately, the problem with Dave is he was on an old save profile, and while I probably could have still used him, I decided to go and start up with a new character because I like starting brand new with new updates, just to make sure nothing funky happens. So, I've been playing this character for a little while, just building up a bit of cash, doing some missions to kind of help build up the experience. Nothing too significant. I haven't bought any, significant amount of vehicles or anything like that. I've only bought one truck to help build up the economy and help build up my income. But this is going to be the Entrepeneur playthrough. Basically, this guy right here, he has ambitions. He wants to start a cargo and passenger empire. Cargo and passenger transportation empire. And in order to do that, he had to go out and buy this thing. I should have came up with a different name for this character. I wasn't really thinking that far ahead whenever I started playing this. But anyway, I might be able to edit the character at some point. But yeah, if you don't know what Motortown Behind the Wheel actually is, it's basically kind of a rags to riches kind of game in some ways. Like you start off with this house right here. You start off with what I call your dad's car. And you try and you basically have like nothing really to your name at all whatsoever, and you try and build up your income by purchasing vehicles and setting up routes and delivering from various goods to different types of towns. And there's all kinds of vehicles that you can drive and operate in this game. There's all kinds of like off-road challenges that you can do as well, like this town right here. I've only been here one time. But getting here is a royal pain in the butt. So, I don't really know what I want to do for the first episode. I guess I could kind of just show the game off a little bit, but before we do, I do want to run over to... Where is the City Hall? Yeah. We'll go ahead and take the truck here. Because once we get done with this, I am going to head off over to a farm or something to pick up a load and take it somewhere else. I am going to go and turn down the volume in my headset, though, so I can actually hear myself talk, because that's a little loud. So the reason I wanted to wait for the update in this game is because, number one, it added a new truck to the game. It added a bunch of new trailers, it added a few new towns, and it added the ability to actually purchase emergency vehicles. And I wanted to kind of start from the very beginning of this character. Like I said, I don't have anything really set up outside of just owning this small box truck. That, however, is going to change. Hello there, Mr. Cop. Please do not pull me over. I've done a few other things as well. I've driven a few buses. This is the City Hall right here, isn't it? Yeah. Where can I park here? Legally, where can I park? I guess I could park down here. You know what? I'll turn my flashers on. That way, you know, I've done something somewhat legally. Yeah. You there. Madam.
Hello.
I'd like to create a company, please. I'll call this DTR Logistics. Was that the only thing I had to
Hello.
do? Left bumper and that? Ah, okay. So over the last several months, the game has had a few different updates. Number one, the most significant one now, is you can actually build depots. And depots are how you can actually repair your vehicles automatically. You just have to supply the depots with the parts that they need. Um, Something I could do is I could go ahead and just buy a bus and have it start transporting people from basically all over the map. But I think, oh wow, we can even have like up to 40 trucks now in just one company. That's insane. But before we do anything drastic, let's go ahead and just kind of get focused on the cargo aspect of it for now. We'll start another company called DTR Express or something for passenger services. Car coming. Suppose I could probably go ahead and like tune up the traffic next video, couldn't I? Oh, actually, I'm going the wrong way. Although, I could keep going the way I was going, or I could turn around and go back to that rice farm over there, which I think I'd rather do anyway. I apologize if my driving annoys anybody, but I like to play these games somewhat realistically. Yeah, here we go. Here's the rice farm right here. Turn the blinker on. Whoa. Steady on? Holy crap. It's the first episode. I'm already destroying my stuff. Alright. So I don't really have a lot of time for recording right now. It's 6 past 8 as I'm recording this on Sunday night, so yeah. Although, ooh. Is there anything else going to Holium? That's going to R. Oh, my. That's that off-road town. That's a royal pain in the butt to get to. We will get to covering that town eventually. But for right now... just want to do something nice and simple, just to get us started. You know what? That'll get us pretty close to the actual truck dealership, which I need to go to anyway, so I'll go and take those. And then along the way, we can stop there. Yeah, that'll work. So let's go ahead and drop a thing right here as well, just so we don't get confused. And once we get done with this cargo delivery, we'll stop by the truck dealership and purchase a few trucks. I want to buy a few more of these box trucks. as well as a semi. And I'll take control of the semi just so I make these videos a bit more interesting. Especially to come up with a background for this sort of character, shouldn't I? So you guys kind of have something to relate to. So this guy graduated from college, but he couldn't really find anything to actually do with his degree. So he decided he'd just start driving a truck or take matters into his own hand. What just happened? Okay, that occurred. I don't know how that occurred, but that did occur. Definitely a good thing we're going to the truck dealership then, because that was kind of nonsensical. So yeah, this character, he couldn't find anything to do with his actual degree. No job would hire him. And so he decided to take matters into his own hands. He worked his butt off to acquire the amount of money that he has right now, which is basically $500,000, a little over $500,000. Sold most of his belongings, sacrificed pretty much all of his free time, never got a girlfriend, never got married or anything like that. Worked his absolute tail off, lived as uncomfortable as he possibly could, until he got to a point where he felt comfortable trying to start a business of his own. He bought this box truck first, and then he never looked back. He started working for himself as a independent contractor, hauling all kinds of goods. Mr. Cop, would you mind moving? I feel like you are going slow on purpose, and I would like to get around you. He's just trolling me at this point. What kind of nonsense is this? Let me around. Jeez. Admittedly, he was going the speed limit, and I am going 5 over the speed limit right now, but you know what? I don't care. I've got a delivery to make. I've got multiple deliveries to make, and I need to get to the dealership before my truck breaks down. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay, thank you. So, yes, this game will be occupying the 3rd week of every month. Assuming I get this timed right. If I don't have the timing right for doing this correctly, I will correct it in some way or another. Maybe I'll just have to take a week off or whatever, just to kind of get the timing correct again. Or just delay the 4th game that I have in mind for a while. And Saturday, I originally wanted to upload a almost 2.5 hour long video of Minecraft. But I had some issues with the audio. Somehow, some way or another, OBS changed its settings to the point where my audio just absolutely blew your eardrums out whenever you started the video. And I didn't know this until Coupling Rhino commented on it. I really need to start like watching my own videos before I post them, but you know, if I had like any kind of editing software, I probably would do that, but I don't know. I don't even know the first thing about video editing. If I were to ever actually try and sit down and do YouTube full time, I wouldn't have a choice but to learn how to do it, but I don't do YouTube full time, and I don't know if I ever will be able to do YouTube full time. It would be cool, yes, but it's a long shot at best. Especially whenever I lose a good chunk of my viewership from whenever I don't upload for, a few months at a time due to the summer and whatnot. I've stated the reasons why I kind of stopped uploading during the summers many, many times, but yeah. Now that autumn is finally rolling in, I'm not quite so worn out whenever I get home. That heat, it just saps it out of me. It really does. I don't do very well in the heat. I'm not to the point where I'm worried about having a heat stroke or anything like that. It's energy draining. There are a lot of times whenever I want to come home and record, but by the time I finally do get home, I just collapse down on the couch, and I take a shower, I collapse down on the couch, and I do nothing but just watch YouTube or something for the rest of the day, because I'm just completely wore out from the heat. Some people can handle the heat. I am not one of those people. Alright, let's deliver this. And let's go back to the truck dealership and, first of all, fix this thing up. I don't know what I hit. Did I go over the hill too fast and it bottomed out or something? Or, I don't know. I have no idea what happened there. That was weird. That truck right there might be what I end up going with. It costs $300,000. And I know these cost like $40,000, give or take. There is also a flatbed version that you can get for a little bit cheaper, but I think I'd rather just have the box versions. Although, alternatively, I'll talk about this more whenever I finally get back to the truck dealership, which is just coming up. It just popped into view. But there is another type of truck that I can get. It's a bit more expensive, but I can afford exactly 5 of them right now. Alright. So. Let's pull in here and fix up this stupid thing first, just so we get the expenses out of the way. Okay, just repair all. And that's good enough. It only costs less than 600. But okay. So first things first, let's take a little look-see at what trucks we can actually get. We can get the off-road thing, which might not be a bad idea. I want to get the Volvo. I really want to get the Volvo. Which I know this is something... This is SCM in-game, but, I mean, look at the grill. That's totally a Volvo. I want to get one of these, but you have to have a trucking skill of 150 in order to drive this thing, and my character is only at 61. Which is just absolutely insane. I haven't done a lot of other stuff. Like, Taxi is still at level 1. Driving a bus is at level 18. I haven't done anything in racing, and I haven't done anything in towing, and I've done very little in police work, but that was just whenever I was just kind of coming onto the game and just messing around. So, yeah. I could buy several variants of this truck right here, the flatbed. But I could buy Oh man, I could buy so many versions. I could buy so much of this truck right here. Which I think for like local delivery, that would be fine. I think for keeping the local deliveries like flowing around in a circle up here on the northern island, that might be good enough. Just buying like a small fleet of these small box trucks and just kind of having them deliver various goods to each of the supermarkets. And then for longer journeys, what we can do is we can get one of these trucks over here. Or maybe even one of these. I can. This costs 150,000 though. Ooh. Vehicle info. Okay, you look like a flatbed. And once again, I can buy this. Decisions, decisions, decisions. It's not an easy choice to make. But tell you what. If I buy this, I would still have enough money left over to buy multiple of these. But if I buy the cab over, I'd have even more money. And I could probably even buy my own trailer. You know what? I'll buy the cab over. That works just fine. Okay, so um let's go to company. Let's do this. Let's set up a truck route. Let's call this that's I have no idea what I just did right there. Um let's call this line 1. And what you can do is you can pick up pallets. And then you can start delivering to the local farms. Oh, wait, there's also another rice farm down in here. Yeah. And then over here. Then here. Actually, no, I won't deliver there yet. Deliver there, and then come back. Deliver there. And deliver there. And deliver there. And come back and pick up more pallets and deliver there. I'm going to call this actually pallet. Pallet line 1. That's not what I want to do. Vehicles. Right. So I think he will go off and do his own thing now. So what I'll do is I'll go and buy this. I am going to go ahead and start off with a company look. All right, let's go for paint. There we go. I think it doesn't really need that much in the way of engine power, but I will go ahead and give it an extra fuel tank. There we go. So you, my good sir, you get the fine luxury of actually going and delivering food to at least one supermarket. So let's have you pick up pumpkins. And let's have you actually taking care of Gangjung. Do that. Then you can do to there. And then you can do from here to here. From here to here. You can go from here to here. I don't think I need to worry so much about that pumpkin farm. Right, I'll call that... Call that the Gangjung food line. Yeah, that'll do. And then you can go on to that. Yeah. While I'm over here, let's take this thing in and start having it worked on. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, let's go for... Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stick with that. There we go. I do want to give it more fuel. Just so it can go long distances without having to worry about it. And I will also give it... Ooh. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just keep it with the default 350. That might be the better thing to do. Are you seriously still here? He got stuck. Fine, I'll give you a hand. Crying out loud. There. Now you should be able to get to wherever you need to go. Alright, so I've got a couple more options here. I can take the semi myself and start delivering containers. Or I can buy another semi and have it do the exact same thing. You know what? I think... I will go ahead and assign a couple of trucks to a container line. So let's go ahead and do this. Well, controller sliding off my lap. Ah! Truck route. So let's go for a container. Container line 1. And you, my good sir, your job is to come up here and start delivering containers to wherever needs it. I know over here needs one somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Wait, what about up here? Aha. Yeah, you need containers. Does anybody else need containers? You do. Jeez, a lot of places need containers. I'm gonna call that good enough. Except I didn't do it right. Right, you. Still didn't do it right. Maybe I have to attach the trailer to it myself. Yeah, I think I might have to attach the trailer myself, which is kind of unfortunate. So I will see you guys in a moment. Alright, so I can't just use any trailer for this. I need to use an actual container trailer. Fortunately, I think you can just use a trailer that you get from spawning one in. So let's go over here. Let's go to semi-trailer. That's semi-tractor. That's semi-trailer. And I'll just go ahead and use that one. Because it actually kind of matches the whole black and white thing I've got going on. Easy now. There we go. No, hang on. Let me get you out of here first. There we go. The AI really struggles to get out of, like, actual parking areas. Okay, so he's on his way now. Very good. Works for me. So on that note, I'll just go and spawn in my own personal car here. I think I might actually go ahead and get 2 trucks on that route, because that's a very long route for just 1 truck. Alternatively, I could go for one of the smaller trucks for doing that as well. Let's see here. 130, 170, 200,000, 180,000, 220, 300, 400, 200, 120,000. Do I go for this or just buy another one of these? I think I'll just buy another one of these, just so it kind of stays on brand. Alright, paint. Window. Yeah, that's not what I was wanting, was it? Nope. There we go. Just some nice tinted windows. And, let's go and give it more fuel. There we go. So just like before, we have to go ahead and drive this thing over to the nearest trailer thing and actually hook it up to another trailer. I'll let you guys ride along this time. Ah, there's one of those trucks. I want one of those so bad. I really do. Alright. Let's go ahead and just hop out here. And now... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where do you think you're going? I set the parking brake. Finally, we have probably the last vehicle I'm going to assign onto the route today. You can go on to the container route. And off he goes! Amazing. So I have a couple of options that I can do myself now as well. I can continue buying. I think I can buy a couple more vehicles still. I have enough to buy one more semi-truck or like 3 more of these small box trucks. But if I get one of these semi-trucks, I'm going to have to use it for doing something different or taking it on longer journeys. Alternatively, I could also buy one of these things. Could buy a garbage truck, could buy one of those. Could buy a tanker, actually. I wonder if buying a tanker would actually be worth it. That way I can actually continue supplying fuel to places. So this is 60,000. You can buy 2 of those. How much can this actually carry? I kind of wish it said, like, how large the cargo space was. Alternatively, isn't this a tanker? This looks like it should be a tanker. 160,000. That's going to put me under the limit where I can buy another cargo or yeah, box truck. Oh, decisions. I don't like having these kinds of decisions, people. I don't like having these kinds of decisions. It drives me kind of bonkers in many ways. Could buy one of these. You know what? I'm going to buy one of these. And this will be my personal vehicle. Well, not personal vehicle. The car will still be in my personal vehicle, but you know what I mean. This will be the vehicle that I primarily drive. This is gonna be my baby. I'm already scratching my baby. I don't like scratching my baby. Okay, so let's go for paint. Let's paint the body black. Let's keep the box white. Let's go for... Again, having some nice tinted windows. And then... Ooh, actually, what's the engine like here? I mean, I could do that. I mean, nothing bad could come from giving my own personal vehicle a heavier duty engine. Hmm. I'll just keep this for how it is right now. Right, so that leaves... I have to make a choice. I can start hauling fuel, or I can continue on with adding more cargo. I think fuel, honestly. Just do a double check. Make sure there's nothing else. Definitely can't afford that. I suppose technically I actually could. I could rent it. Yeah, I think I'd rather just buy a vehicle outright, to be honest. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to buy one of these. It's a very puny load capacity, but at least I finally have a way of actually transporting fuel. There we go. Okay, and as per usual, let's go ahead and give it... Give it a trailer hitch? Well, that changes some things. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to just do that then. Trailer hitch opens up all kinds of possibilities. Alright. So you, my good sir... Actually, I'm going to have to take you over to... to here, aren't I? Alright, so you... Tanker. And come over here to... but it needs crude oil. And I don't really have a way of transporting crude oil. That's... Ooh, I did not think this through. Because oil is produced all the way down here. And the oil refinery needs its own set of supplies. Well, you know what? By the time that I start having an issue with this, hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. Let's go over to here. I thought there was, there it is. I think that might be all of the fuel areas on this particular island. I know the farm requires fuel, but right now I just want to focus on the actual fuel station, so I actually have a place, to fuel up whenever the need arises. Okay, and you know what? I will also start having him come over here. That way, at bare minimum, I can at least get fuel from here. Okay. Gonna call that... This is gonna be... Fuel resupply 1. And cool. Let's just go ahead and repair all these guys. What are you doing? I don't know what you thought you were doing, but you're not doing that. There we go. Alright, so the beginning of our empire has been built. Probably not a hugely entertaining first episode, but you know what? To finish it all off, let's go ahead and we'll do another delivery. Still got just under $30,000, so I could probably buy something else if I really wanted to, but could try buying a bus, I suppose. And for right now, I'll just stick with delivering cargo. So for those of you unfamiliar, the cargo lines in this game extend far beyond just food. There's also furniture that you have to deliver in this game. Like you have to deliver... Let me just show you on the map here real quick. So, I think there's one over here somewhere. Yeah, here's a lumber mill. They supply wooden planks. And in order for them to function, you have to take logs, which I believe there's a logging thing. Yeah, there's a logging thing right up here. So, in order to produce furniture, you have to take logs from here, take them over to here to the lumber mill. The lumber mill will then create wooden planks, which can then be hauled off to various places. But there is a furniture manufacturer. I think it's actually over here somewhere. That's just a furniture store. Actually, it might be over here. Yeah, the furniture factory. So, yeah, they require wooden planks, plastic, and fuel. So, the furniture factory requires a lot. So, you need to have a truck delivering wood planks, plastic, and fuel. What produces plastic? The plastic plant, more than most likely, yeah. So yeah, as you can see, it can get pretty complex. The food is pretty straightforward. You pick up food from the farm, and you take the food to the various supermarkets in every single town. There is a sunflower seed farm down here, or sunflower farm down here, which it can produce grains of all types, which can then be taken to the harbor. It can be taken down here to this harbor. It can be taken all over the place, and I don't really know what happens. That is a journey we will have to explore together, I'm afraid. But for right now, let's stay here in the here and now. I'm going to travel this way. I guess the pumpkin farm was back in that other direction, but yeah, I don't really care. I don't like pumpkins personally. Like, I'm not a fan of pumpkins at all. Although there is this place. You can swing by here and see if they need anything taken away. Overseas imports. And yeah, you can actually be a garbage man if you want. It's what I do in real life, and in the game, it pays ridiculously good unless they patch it, and I'm unaware of it. You know what? I'm gonna play this the way you'd actually do it in real life. Is you'd open up the doors, then you'd back up to the dock. Provided the doors can actually clear the dock. Yeah. Alright, so they actually do have a few things. I don't know if it's really worth messing with, though. Although, to be fair, this is mostly going to Gappa, so... Alright, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take these. Almost a full load, so I guess it works out alright. And let's head out to Gappa, then. I kind of prefer these smaller box trucks to the actual semis because they're a lot easier to deal with. Ooh. Camper. That building would become very important later on. Right now I can't really afford to do anything with it, though. Right, yeah, I have to be very mindful that these trucks, they're not sports cars. They have to be handled with care. And the driving system in this game is actually pretty complex as well. Like, you have to worry about the suspensions and all the parts that can break. The vehicles are very well developed. There's no, like, model damage or anything like that, so if you crash into something, there won't be, like, a massive dent in your vehicle or whatever, but there's a lot of thought put into how they operate. So you want to be very careful and take good care of your equipment. And you can also drive in first person if that's something that you would rather do. Yeah, the garbage trucks, I've never actually owned one myself, but even just... Whoa. Even just taking one, like renting one, well, not really renting one, but just getting like the default, you know, it's already placed on the map and you can drive it for somebody else sort of thing. It pays extremely well. Like, stupid well. And I actually can. I can look around with the mouse. Problem is, it makes driving kind of difficult whenever you're using a controller to drive. And as far as I'm aware, this game is available or compatible with steering wheel, if that's something you'd be interested in trying out. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I'd feel about doing it, about using a steering wheel with this game. Because you do a lot of walking around as well as driving. I think a steering wheel would be a bit more problematic than useful. But, what do I know? I have a steering wheel myself, but I've very rarely used it just because I don't really have a comfortable setup for it. Of course, keep in mind with these trucks is you're not driving sports cars with them. They are heavy-duty vehicles meant for delivering cargo, not hot rodding or anything like that. I'm debating if whether or not I should just focus on this game and Sailwind. And Oblivion as well. I need to hurry up and just try and finish the Oblivion Let's Play, honestly. Like, I'm back to the point where I'm actually having quite a bit of fun with it, though. It's kind of the problem, though. I did kind of stop role-playing it. And it's really not getting, like, hardly any views, either. I don't know. The one game that pretty much always does well is Sailwind and Sail the Seas, but Sail the Seas is... It's okay, it's just not really... It sounds weird, but I don't think it's really something I'm too interested in pursuing until further notice. Yeah, it has a lot of mechanics that Sailwind I wish would have, but I think it's a little too simple in some ways. Like, yeah, graphically it's not fantastic, but graphics are not something that I really hold a game to. Like, I still play my Nintendo 64, and as as you can probably imagine, the graphics on the Nintendo 64 are not that great, but every once in a while I will get a game that is new to me for the Nintendo 64, and well, yes, it is a console that's, you know, from back all the way back into the 90s. I still don't really complain that much about graphics. Like, there are some games on the Nintendo 64 that have aged really, really well. I mean, they're not great by modern standards. I mean, by modern standards, they're absolute garbage. But, you know, for a system that came out, like, what, the early 90s? It still has a lot of games that have aged like fine wine. Some examples that come to mind would be the Legend of Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, Donkey Kong 64, Mario 64. Oh, hello, I'm supposed to be turning here. Um... I want to say Rayman 2 in some way as well, but even whenever I first played that game, it still really wasn't much to write home about, but Banjo-Kazooie is another one that just came to mind, that has aged really, really well. To some degree, I guess you could say 007 GoldenEye. And I never really played Conker's Bad Fur Day, but from what I've seen of it, it's also aged pretty well. Star Fox, maybe. Yeah, the Nintendo 64 has a lot of games that are aging quite well, in my personal opinion. I kind of wish, in many ways, I could go back in time to my younger self and, like, teleport to today and just show myself what games would eventually become. You know? Like back in, like, let's see here, 2003 was not a good year for me personally. I was in the third grade and I got into a lot of trouble that year. But if I go back in time and show myself what games would eventually come to, even at that age, I just love to see like what my facial reaction would be. Yeah, this is where having these types of trucks comes in really handy. You don't have to worry about navigating a trailer in through here. Let's see here. We're going on almost an hour and a half for this video. I kind of want to keep going in some ways, to be honest. I can't take that. Actually, I have reached that town in this particular truck before, but it's, it takes a while, shall we say. Yeah, that admittedly is going to the Jeju supermarket. That's going all the way down there. Is there anything else going to Ara? Ara. It doesn't look like it, but Oh no, I lost those. No! Let's see, it's 9:20. I've got enough time. Heck yeah. I think that also gave us a full load. Yes, it did. Awesome. So one thing about this game that's actually kind of cool is you can actually have the trucks drive themselves. And it's not just the trucks. You can have anything put on autopilot. Then at any time, you can take it off autopilot if you just want to drive yourself, which I kind of do. I might put it on autopilot for the bridge, because it's going to be a pretty long bridge. The AI doesn't drive particularly well, but it does pretty decent if you're stepping away from the computer for a little bit. Also, be very, very careful whenever you're driving on dirt roads, because they do not have the greatest traction. You definitely want to try and stay within the speed limit, or within the ballpark of the speed limit. Tell you what, I'll just put it on cruise control. There we go, problem solved. That's not how that works there, Mr. Carr, but you do you. Let's see here, so the games I'm going to be covering on the channel for the foreseeable future, at least, is going to be Sailwind for the first week of every month. Oblivion for the second week. This game for the third week. And then X4 Foundations, most likely, for the fourth week of every week. And videos will be uploaded on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I need the other 2 days for recording time. And come, like, the first couple weeks of November, I'm going to be going on vacation. More than most likely a staycation. So that'll give me plenty of time to actually sit down and record a crap ton of videos. Because I'm going to have, like, the better part of 2 weeks without having to worry about going to work. So that means I can just sit my happy, lazy butt down all day and just play video games nonstop until I decide I want to go to bed. Or until I decide I want to get something to eat. But who needs food? Food is for the weak. Man, and you know, I also want to look at No Man's Sky, especially after that update that just came out. There are so many games to cover, and I just don't have enough time. Maybe I should just start streaming. Come home and stream for like 3 or 4 hours whenever I get off work, and then call it a day. Oh, good. Also the rain. And yes, for those of you who do not know, the rain makes the roads a lot slicker, a lot more slippery. So especially in a big vehicle like this one, you want to be very careful when you're going around corners like this. I think this bus right here is going to be the next type of vehicle we buy, because I do need to start getting some passenger lines set up. Alternatively, I might try going for a different one. One that can carry a bit more cargo, or a bit more passengers. A bit more in the way of passengers, I suppose I should say. Something like this. Except I don't think I can buy one of those. I don't think I have the driving skill. I wonder if there's a mod that disables the requirements, because that would speed things up so much faster. Okay, good. This guy's finally turning. You know what? I'm just going to go around you. Don't mind me. Sorry, I had to yawn. I'm getting quite tired. It is almost 9:30. Ooh, let's stay on the road, Dalton. Let's stay on the road. I'm very happy I put those extended fuel tanks on these things. Of course, it does come at a cost. Whenever you eventually do have to refuel, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. Oh, I'm turning here too. And it's going to drain the fuel tanks a lot more. The fuel tanks at the fuel station, I mean. And I also like how on these multiplayer servers, there's not a lot of people driving these types of trucks. It's either just semi-trucks or it's fancy sports cars. At least in my experience, I don't really see a lot of people driving these smaller Class B vehicles. Oh yeah, and cops. Plenty of cops. Speed limit is 75. I am flying past everybody, and I'm only going 70. Once we get to our destination, I will check on my vehicles and make sure they're still actually in working condition. Or maybe I'll just do it up here at the stop sign. That might be a better idea. Want to make sure those vehicles are in tip-top condition after all. Excuse me for a moment while I come in here and... Okay, yeah, most of them are doing okay, but I can come in here and fix them up regardless. It only costs 100 per vehicle, so... This is why you want to get the depot, so you don't have to worry about this kind of shenanigan anymore, but you want to place a depot in strategic locations where there's going to be a lot of traffic. So you could probably put one along here at the bridge, and here at this other bridge, and then maybe somewhere along here. You want to place them somewhere where there's going to be a lot of traffic, so the vehicles just repair themselves automatically. We're almost there, people. Just a little over a mile left. Hello there, Mr. Cop. Okay, let's see here. I guess I am going down this road. There's the delivery point. All right, so door number 2. Nice. All right, and what am I able to get from... Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, okay. That's a bit more like it. Okay, so yeah, you guys deliver the airport meals, don't you? I will worry about those another time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. I'm going to leave it here. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel because I do plan on uploading quite a bit more. This is going to be a prolonged series, more than most likely, on the channel. It'll give me something to do for quite some time, I imagine. So, yeah. For the foreseeable future, definitely expect to see a lot more Sailwind, a lot more of this game. And, Minecraft was supposed to be uploaded every Saturday. Each video will be a minimum of 2 hours whenever it comes to that game, but for the weekly videos, it'll be an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes more. Like this video, for example, that's going on. It's knocking on the door of 2 hours right now. But yeah, expect a lot more logistical sort of games in the not too distant future. So for now, that's going to be me signing out. Until next time, guys, God bless, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. This is your captain, signing out.